All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the week 14th, August 20 meeting of the release team. And yeah, we are in the second to last week of the release. And yeah, before we get started, I'd like to remind you all that as part of the Kubernetes community, we abide by the CNCF code of conduct, and that whatever you say is recorded and posted to YouTube. So please be mindful of the code of conduct. With that out of the way, I don't see anything on the open discussion, but is there any items that anyone would like to talk about for the open discussion? No. So let's move on to our sub-team updates, enhancements.
Yeah, hey everyone, Ryan this side. So our status is green. We don't have much updates. Yeah, that's all from us.
All right. Do we have any questions for enhancements?
Yeah, I just changed the deprecation metric to 2. I'll just add 2 in the bracket because we haven't directly deprecated an API that would directly classify under that. So we have, but yeah, that's a retro item on how we handle that. But I just added a 2 in bracket.
Is this related to the conformance test, the discussion that was going on yesterday?
That's this is one for the C group driver. The auto configuring the C group driver, asking the container runtime for the C group driver, and the other one is regarding traffic routing. Both of them. So how we classify this into buckets is based on the few fields in the gap, but that isn't really cutting because gaps internally have deprecated some portions, even though there are 3 features going GA, one thing might have been deprecated. So I think we need to have some better discussion over this.
Yep. Any other questions for enhancements? If not, we can move on to release signal with Adil.
Yes, so release signal is currently, the status is currently red. We have 3 flags, 2 are awaiting signal. We identified them yesterday. And third one is, there is a comment on third one that it's, for RC it's okay, but for GA we need to fix it. And there is also one failing test, but that is related to infra. There is a kernel issue, but it's not related to Kubernetes code. So that's not it's a non-blocker. Yeah, that's the update.
Yeah, thanks, Adil. Are there any questions for release signal?
Not a question. I know you folks have pinged everyone and done your job, but if you don't hear back from them soon, just ping me and I'll open a private chat with them.
Yeah, Raju was telling me that she also pinged the maintainers.
Yeah, I saw the
Do
Slack
you-
threads directly.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
just to make sure
I
that.
did ping them directly.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. If we don't have any other questions for release signal, we can move on to talks with Eugen.
Yes, hi team. For Dark's team, our status is green. And this way we will create a weekly branch sync PR. And RC.0 release node has been merged on Monday. And we'll also create a RC.1 release node PR. Yes. Thanks.
Thanks, Eugen. Are there any questions for the talks team?
Yes, I do have a question. I will add this to the docs team's agenda directly, the link. So you have context about what I'm talking about. This was one of the, I think, things that needed to go to the urgent category in release notes. I think
Okay.
Shyam, you are the author of this, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I saw that Ben had posted a comment and I had sent it to Michelle as well, but I don't think it's been updated. Yeah, thanks for adding it
Yeah,
to the
please
agenda.
add this for the RC1 cut. This needs to go the urgent section.
Okay. I will check with Michelle and the member who responsible for the RC.1.
Yeah, you can do it with RC.1 or you can do a hotfix. Both are fine.
Maybe I think Ryan will do it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions for the docs team? All right. Moving on to comms.
One question. Okay.
Yep.
So this was tagged as release notes action required, and this did not end up in the action required section by the tooling.
So what happened was the initial release note did not have that action required. I
Right.
think so. Yeah, this
Okay.
line was added by Ligit later on, like sometime last week, I think. So I believe, yeah, this was added last week. So I believe this was added before, but it did not go to the, I mean, it was added to the release notes by the automation, but it did not go to the urgent
When
category.
was this label added? Let me see. It was added last week. When was the RC0 PR created? If the RC0 PR was created before this, then maybe it's fine. But if the RC0 PR was created, like the tool in Krell was run after this was added, then Krell should technically kind of reconcile on this data and check it again. So Krell does that.
Right. I do see this in under the features. So I guess it was run before because the original text for the release note is in the.
Okay, so one action I have for the docs team is to verify, just run Krell again and just verify whether this moves from feature to action required automatically or not. If it doesn't, this is an issue that should be fixed with Krell as well. And please create an issue for that as well. So that's an action item I have for docs. Sriram,
Okay.
yeah. And verify if it automatically moves to action required or not, which it should, because Krell should technically reconcile on the status of the PRs, which it already has in the release notes. So this is something that should technically automatically happen, but if it does not, that needs to be fixed.
Okay. I will check with this PR. When we run the curl release, no comment. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Yom. Moving on to comms, I don't see Augustina on the call. Are there any other comms shadows who can share the updates? I think that's a no, so I can read out the update myself. The comms issue is linked. Yeah, this is the progress issue. We can move on to the feature blogs. Like 8 of the 18 blogs are ready to be published, and 10 of the 18 are like having a review in progress. So I believe like the rest of the ones that are not ready to publish are like in progress, the reviews. And I think this is fine since our status is green. We will be publishing the posts like after the release, so that should be fine. Fund was not a post-release com after all, so it is now merged and published. So this is supposed to go before the release, I believe. And the blog post is also linked. The release announcement blog is ready to review, and the tentative date for the webinar is September 24th, and this has been coordinated with the CNCF team as well. Yeah, the status is green, and these are all the updates, and I think we are on track. Do we have any questions for comms? All right, moving on to release branch management. I don't see any updates, and I don't see any release branch management folks in the channel. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Yom. The conformance tests discussion that was happening yesterday would mean that we would have to delay one of the release branch cuts, right?
No, we are not doing anything. So the discussion drive to the conclusion that it's fine to ship these GA features without conformance tests, because well, conformance are technically just promoting E2E to tag them as conformance, but it's fine to have this in V1.35 and can be backported to 3.4. So the discussion was that we are not delaying any of these cuts. But if any of the current issues that release signal has added lead to blocking the release cut, then that's a different thing. But the conformance test discussion pointed that we wouldn't be delaying anything. So I think branch management would be read alongside release signal right now, because there is a probability that we'll need to delay the release cut.
All right. Yeah, are there any questions from anyone for release branch management? I guess that's a no. So moving on to emeritus advisor. Yeah, Raji, I saw that you unmuted your mic. Did you have a question for?
Yeah, Sriram. So I just wanted to ask the number of hours from now, like when should be the final signal be given, or Vyom, like what till when should we wait to hear back from the related SIG leads?
Just wait for them to come offline if they are in a different time zone. Technically wait till your EOD if you don't have any response by then, because Mateo is a few hours ahead of IST. Then we can kind of, if we receive the signal by then the cut can still happen today or with a slightest delay tomorrow, which would technically be today in some countries. So that should be fine. But if you don't receive any signal for a prolonged period of time after your EOD, then I think it's good to escalate, or even have the announcement that we're going to delay the cut, which we don't want to because some SIGs haven't answered. But that's the pattern that we'll follow here.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thanks, folks. I'm guessing there are no more questions for release branch management, but folks, feel free to like unmute yourself and like share if you have anything. But moving on to emeritus advisor, I don't see any updates from Fred, so I guess I don't have anything. We can move on to release lead.
Hey everyone, so the status from my side is that yesterday there was a very long discussion regarding GA features without conformance tests. If anyone is curious, I have linked the Slack thread, which also has linked to a Google Doc in which this was discussed extensively. But the conclusion of this was the current process of promoting test to conformance in the same release as a feature goes GA is very tedious and not really ideal for developers. And at the same time, release team was trying to enforce a rule that is very not ideal for developers. But there was some missed communication from PR authors of CAPS regarding something that should have been highlighted to the release team most probably a month ago, but it wasn't. But the final outcome of this discussion was that we are not going to revert any of the caps, and they can go GA without conformance tests in this release. There were two caps. One was volume attribute class 1, and the other one was DRA. Also keeping an eye over the DRA flakes and the current release blockers for release signal. Just that we want to make sure that we get the RC2 cut out on time. And we also had a regression yesterday, which was fixed yesterday itself. And it's the final week before the final release cut. So great job everyone so far. And just one more week to go. Are there any questions?
So we are not going to delay the release because of the conformance tests, right?
Nope, we aren't.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, if we don't have any, I mean, does anybody else have any questions for Vyom? All right. I don't see any status from SIG scalability, so I'm assuming the status is green unless there is anything mentioned explicitly. So with that, we are at the end of our sub-team updates. If you have anything that you'd like to discuss on the recording, folks, feel free to speak up. All right. If not, I'll stop the recording now. Bye bye, YouTube.